Welcome back to Shemsuniverse. So today, guys, we're going to discuss the relationship between Virgo and Libra. So Virgo and Libra are not the most compatible signs out there. When it comes to intimacy, you have to give them about 30% of the time that they're going to work. The reason being is they don't really have much of an emotional connection. Libra is governed by Venus, and Virgo actually is the sign that debilitates Venus. It starts to go down there. So when you understand that, you realize that that's sort of Venus represents a lot of love and intimacy, beauty, compassion. The whole idea of relationships lies with Venus, and then also with the Moon. So when Venus falls in a sign, it kind of shows that that sign isn't the best for relationships. So when Virgo is in with Libra, Libra has an expectation of a certain level of sex, a certain level of compassion, and a certain I guess you would say natural emotional connection that the Virgo simply just cannot offer. What Virgo can offer is a very rational, business-oriented sort of relationship, one in which that they're the provider or they're the person that stays home and is like a housewife, but they don't really they more so like to fill in a role, and they don't really know about the idea of just going with the flow and then feeling things out. They like to think things out. And that's the biggest difference between these two. Libra is more of a feeler, and then Virgo is a thinker. Libra is able to, because Saturn's exalted in their sign, they're able to do what's justifiable. I mean, they'll communicate this to their partner, but there will not be any change. They'll also be the person that will try to be fair and compromise and definitely try to do a balancing act, like a teeter-totter. But once again, like I said, dissatisfaction is going to be very apparent once the smoke settles. So with an intimate relationship, what I can recommend is that Virgo maybe undergoes some sort of therapy, or they talk to their Libra partner more. But the feelings really just have to come natural. If the Virgo person, my advice to you is if the feelings are not coming natural to you, where the Libras say they don't feel that connection from you, your best bet is to break it off and find somebody else, unfortunately. The reason being is because feelings is something that cannot be taught. It just has to be there or it's not. It's either prevalent or it's just not. For the Libra person, don't be unfair to yourself. If you feel like you're not being treated justly, even though the Virgo person seems to be doing everything right according to Saturn's way, meaning they're doing their role, but the feeling isn't there, drop the relationship, because it's not something that's going to work for you in the future. You're going to feel that you sort of wasted away some of your time, and you might even resent this said person, and they don't deserve that either. So if you guys are both good people, just try to make it work, but that feeling just simply isn't there. That spark just isn't naturally there. This could be why. Drop the relationship and just move on. Maybe maintain a friendship, but unfortunately, at this set amount of time, it might not be able to work. My only other advice would be to look at why the feeling isn't really there. Does it have to do with trust? Does it have to do with when the person's talking? Does it have to do with the actual touch? Does it have to do with the sex? What exactly does it have to do with that's making you say that this isn't going to work? If you can identify that, you may have a better time in identifying the other problems, because that's probably the core. And then once you actually uproot that, you'll be able to solve everything else. Moving on with a business setting, these guys can work quite well with business. It's quite the opposite. It's about 80% I'd say would work. Reason being is exactly what I was saying before. Virgo is very much a work, detail, and business-oriented sign. They're very good at getting money. They're very grounded. They're very adaptable to different working environments. When you get them with Libra, Libra is like I said, Saturn exalts them. They're in the balancing act. They'll definitely be pulling their weight. So in a partnership aspect, 80% of the time it's going to work. Power dynamic, Libra is very fair. They like to cooperate with other people. Virgo could be a bit of a nitpicker, a bit critique. If they're criticizing too much, just watch for that. Understand they are just doing it for the betterment of the business if you're a Libra. But still, regardless, don't take too much. If it's too much of an unbalanced relationship, drop it. But for the most part, you guys do work quite well and get a lot of things done. Last but not least, with friendships, this could work to a certain extent because you guys both believe in justice. You guys both believe in being fair. Virgo is definitely a very logical, rational sign. And Libra is, even though they're very much feelers, when it comes to a friendship, they're very much able to have different perspectives on things. They're able to come to different debates and be fair about what their opinion is. So in this respect, I give them about 75% of the time they're going to work. Just simply because both of you guys really have that perspective, logically, of wanting justice. And when you want justice, any two people can become friends, because even if they're from different cultural backgrounds, they're from different ethnicities, this one thing can bring them together and really make them understand one another for who they are and what they bring to the table. But aside from that, guys, that should conclude this video. If you guys do have any questions whatsoever, just please leave it in the comments for me. Aside from that, guys, please like, subscribe. All I mean for today, guys. Peace.